So hello everyone, today we are going to start with the surfacing series next lecture and we are going to continue with the part practice. So to continue with the part, we have this sketch here. We are going to make this part in surfacing. So first we need to make this profile. The first line is horizontal, then this tilted line, again lastly this tilted line. So we'll start with the software. Select the line command. We have selected the front plane earlier only and now we are going to make that profile. We need to put this horizontal distance as 135. Say right click, say horizontal measure. Put up the value as 135. Next we need to put this angle that is of 50 degrees. And this angle will be of 150 degrees. We can see here the values are given as 50 and 150. Next we need to put the heights here. So the overall height of this line from the origin will be 150 mm. This value will be 150. Then this point value will be of 112. Here it is given as this corner will stay on 112 mm. So this value as 112. Next constraint will be of this point that will be of 90 mm. And now this sketch is completely constrained. We can see here it is showing in green color, means this part is completely constrained. We'll exit the workbench. We can see now in the side view the distance is given as 80 mm. So the total width will be of 80 mm, but here one angle is also given that is of 12 degrees. So if I take the center line, that will be 6 degrees on each side. So we'll make this extrusion by 80 mm. We'll take it little bit larger here. Instead of 80 we are going to take 100 mm. You will understand it later why we have taken it 100 mm. So select the extrude command, select the line, say mirror extend, and the value we are going to say here is 50 mm. So total will be 100. As we have selected mirror extend, say OK. Next we need to select the side plane now. Say sketch. We'll flip the side here. We need to make one line here now. This point will be coincided with this edge. Say coincide. Next we need to give the angle. Double click the constraint and here we'll put the angle here as 6 degrees. As the total angle is given 12, the half will be taken as 6 degrees. We'll put up this constraint for the dimension from the mid side. So total was 80. I'm going to take this value here as 40 mm. Now this line is completely constrained. Angle is 6 degree and the distance is taken as 40, as this total distance was 80 mm. Next we'll say exit workbench and we need to say extrude now. We'll not take limit 2 here. Say I'll say this limit value as 0. We only need limit 1 value. So here the distance is given as 135, the maximum distance. So I'll take this value as 135 only. We can see here this extra portion is remaining. Later we will trim it. Now next we are going to say mirror for this face here. So this surface will be mirrored on the opposite side. So for mirror we are going to select this operations toolbar and here we have the option that is symmetric. We need to select the element and then we need to select the reference plane. Say OK. We can see this other part or other side has been made. We are not going to make this complete profile and then extrude, because if we do that the surface here will be overlapped. If we make this complete profile and then extrude, that's why we had made single face here and then we have mirrored that face so as to avoid the overlapping over this surface here. Next we need to select this mid plane, say sketch. Now we'll say project entities first. Project this line in construction mode. Then put off the construction mode for further geometry. Next we need to make this line here that is tilted by 20 degrees from this vertical line and then the other second line. Select the line command and then the last line. We'll put up this value. It is taking 90 degrees, but we'll delete this angle here and go for the value as 20 degrees from this vertical. Now the height for the intersection of two lines here is given as 56 mm. So we are going to take this point and line as 56 mm. Value. After this value we need to give this angle here So the angle is given as 125 degrees from the horizontal. Put up this value as 125 degrees. Lastly, we need to extrude this line now. We have only made two profiles, that is this first line and this second line. Other things we have projected here for the reference. Say exit workbench and go for extrude command now. We need to extrude it on both the sides. I'll say mirror extend here. Say OK and finish. Next we are going to make the extra parts trim here. We'll select the split command here. Elements to cut, we need to select this surface and cutting element will be this surface. We need to say other side. As it is looking transparent, this surface will be removed. Say OK. Do this on the other side also. Say split. Elements to cut and cutting element will be this surface. Say other side and say OK. Next we need to remove these extra corners here, these triangular corners. Select the split command. Elements to cut will be this surface and cutting element will be this surface. Say other side and say OK again. Do this for the other side also. Say split. Elements to cut will be this corner and a cutting element will be this surface. Say other side. Now it is coming transparent. Say OK. Now we need to hide these surfaces here. Next, this remaining corners of the upper side. So for this horizontal corners, select the split command. Elements to cut will be this surface and cutting element will act as this right hand side surface. We can see here this corner is showing transparent now, means we can say OK. Go for the other side also. Elements to cut, this one, and cutting element will be this surface. Say OK. And finally we need to cut the upper corners now. Then we'll get the shape which we require. Say split. Elements to cut will be the surface and cutting element will be the mid surface. Say other side. Now the upper corners is being removed. Say OK. Do this for the last side also. Elements to cut and cutting element. Say other side and say OK. And now we have finally made the shape which we require. Hide this sketch. Now to make the fillet on the corners, we can see here there are some fillet on the corners. We need to join the surface first. So I'll join the surface here. Select all the faces and say OK. After joining this surface, we are going to go for fillet. For that we need to change the interface. Go for the shape option. And here we have the option that is Generative Shape Design. And in Generative Shape Design, we need to go for the Operations toolbar. And here we have the option Edge Fillet. Select the second option. Now here the radius for this corner, upper corner is given 25. And same value will be taken for this lower corner. And for this vertical edges, we have this value here as 12 mm. So here first we are going to select these two edges. Say this value as 25 and say preview. Say OK. Next we are going to go for this edges now. So the value for this edges is given as radius 12. We have seen here this value is given as radius 12. So go for this value as 12 and select the required edges. Say preview and OK. After taking this shape, we are going to go for boundary command now. Now next, over all these front corners, we need to make this flange here. For that, we are going to select the boundary command. So we'll go for the boundary command now. In operations toolbar, we have this command that is boundary. We need to select this edge. And you can see this option is given as point and continuity. If you want to see this command in detail, you can refer the previous lectures which are been given in playlist. Now we need to select limit 1 and limit 2. So I'm going to select this point as limit 1 and this one as limit 2. We only need this front side edges. That's why we have selected this limits here. Say OK. But before taking this boundary, we have forgotten one thing, that we need to make the fillet here also. We can see here this fillet of radius 30. But the fillet here is for this vertex points. At this vertex point we need to give fillet. So it is not possible to use this command edge fillet for this vertex point here. So we need to make one extrude and then we are going to trim it for making this fillet. Finally we will get the result as a fillet here. For that we are going to select this mid plane. Go for this sketch. Say project entities to both the edges. I'll say project here. make them construction. They are for reference purpose for starting and ending the arc. Put off the construction later and then go for the 3-point arc option. Here in circle tab, there is 3-point arc starting with limits. First point, second point and third point. We need to go for tangency here. Say tangency and then put up the value for the radius. So we are going to take this radius here as 30 mm. We don't need to close the sketch. We just need single arc here. So only one arc is enough to extrude. Say exit workbench and go for the extrude command. Say OK. Next go for the trim command. So here we have the option split. Elements to cut, we are going to say this surface, and cutting element will act as this surface. It is removing the mid portion, we are going to say other side. Say OK. Next we need to go for one more split and we are going to remove these corners with that split here. So say split command again. Elements to cut, we are going to select this surface, and cutting element this time we are going to select this mid body. We can see here these corners are looking transparent, means they are going to be removed. Say OK. Now the remaining portion in between we are going to say hide, and finally we have this radius of 30 mm at the corners, not by using the edge fillet but by using extrude command, and then we are going to split them. Now we need to go for this flange. We can see here in this sketch we have the flange at the front side. The height is given as 14 mm. So we need to make one sketch here by using 3D line. So in line definition, select the option as point and direction. Say the direction here as X direction, as we are going to make this line somewhere here, and then we are going to make it sweep along this edge. But one more thing, before making it sweep, we need to make one boundary around this edge, and then we are going to go for this line. So I'll cancel it for this time. Select for the boundary command and select the front edge. This will show us the complete boundary, but we don't need the complete boundary. We need this flange from this point continuing with this side here till this last point. This backside portion we don't need flange here. For that we are going to say limit 1 and limit 2. So we have this option in command itself. Say this as limit 1 and this as limit 2. This limits option are given in boundary command only. Just say OK and finish. So we can see here this white colored line being shown here as a boundary till this point. This portion is been removed by using this boundary command and limits. Now we are going to make that line. Select the line, and this line is from this toolbar, that is wireframe. We are not going to take 2D line. This is a 3D line. We just need to select the line command and go for the direction. So I'm going to select this line command, select the starting point, and here we need to provide the direction. So here the direction is going to be X direction, as we are going to make this line at this side, at left side. So click on this option and say point and direction. We have selected the point. Just right click on the direction option and say as X direction. The height of this flange is given here as 14 mm. So I'm going to take this value as 14 mm only. Say preview. Say OK. Now we have this line and this boundary, this combined boundary. We just need to go for this option, that is sweep command. So here in surface toolbar we have the option that is sweep. Select the sweep command. We need to select the profile. So I'm going to select this line as a profile, and guide curve we are going to select this boundary. Say preview and say OK. Now this flange is being made around this surface. We can see here, and we have made this flange after completing all the fillets here. Before that we don't need to make the flange first. Now as this flange is not a part of this complete body, we need to join them together so as to make them a complete part. And this joining is much more needed for the fillet here, because at this edges, at this joining edges, fillet is given. We can see here in sketch, at this corners fillet is been given. Before that we need to join it together, then only we can provide the edge fillet. So again join command. This command we are using for the second time now. Select the flange and the body. Say OK. After joining, we'll go for this fillet command now. Select edge fillet. And you need to select the edges Before that you need to hide the sketch and then go for the selection of edges, or else the edges selection will not be possible properly. Again go for the fillet option, say this radius as 5, select the reference edges. As you select one edge, the selection mode is on tangency. This complete edge will be selected by default only. Say OK, and we can see here radius 5 fillet has been added at all the corners. This complete corner around the boundary. You just need to hide the sketch, and here this part has been made. Now only cutouts are to be remaining. So I'm going to select this mid plane, say sketch for the cutouts. The circular cutouts we are going to make it now. So here this circle is given of radius 10 with the height of 34 mm from the downside, and horizontal it is placed at 26 mm. So here one circle with radius 10. Go for the circle command. One circle. We need to define the circle properly. I'll say this diameter as 20 as the radius was given 10. Say OK. And from the bottom side, this height is given as 26 mm. So say 26 mm. And from this vertex point till this corner, this horizontal distance here it is given as 26 mm. The height is 34 actually, this vertical height. So I'm going to correct it, say 26 for the horizontal, and for this vertical we'll say 34. Next circle, it is somewhere here. From the bottom side it is at 120 and horizontal it is 23. So the next circle, now the size for the circle, it is not given here. We are going to assume that value. So we'll take this value here as 8 mm. So the distance horizontal is given 23 and vertically as 122. So this value is 23. Now the vertical distance from the bottom side is 122 mm. So I'll say this value as 122. It is completely constrained now, the circle. Next this hole. Here also the diameter or radius is not given. So we are going to assume this value here as 25. One more circle. Diameter will take here as, we are going to assume this diameter as 26. So one circle with the diameter of 26. This will be the last circle. Say this diameter as 26. Now positional dimension, it is given at 69 from the bottom side. So here 69 from the bottom side. Next, horizontally this dimension is given at 95. So this dimension as 95 horizontally. We are going to say exit and go for extrude now. Say OK. Select keep all sub-bodies elements and say OK. Lastly, we are going to select the split command again. Most of the time we have used split command. It is because lastly the remaining part we can hide it here. But if we use trim command, the remaining parts we cannot hide as they get merged with the main body. That's why split command is more efficient. Elements to cut, we are going to say this body, as we need hole on this body, and the cutting elements will be the cylinders. Now we can see in between of the circles the portion is showing transparent. Say OK. Means these holes are been cut now. Lastly, we can hide this portion now. Remaining portion say hide, and we have this cuts on the body. Say hide on this sketch also. And finally we have made this part. If you want to provide the thickness for the surfaces, now we can go for the thickness. So for thickness option, say start and go for part modeling. We have changed the interface for surfacing to part modeling, and here we have the tool for surface thickness. Say right click, and here we have the option that is surface based features. So we need to search that toolbar. It is here, surface based features. I'm going to select this option, thick surface. Select the surface. It will ask whether you want to add the thickness at the outer side. That's why the arrows are showing at the outerwards. Or else if you want the thickness to be added at inner sides, just say reverse direction. All the arrows will be reversed here at the inner sides. I'll say reverse or the outer side only. And we'll say this thickness as 2 mm. Say preview and say OK. If you want to change the value, I'll say 4 mm. And lastly say preview and OK. Now the surface part is also being shown. So if you want to hide this surface, just expand the model tree and hide this join here, this edge surface also. Now this part is shown only with thickness. We can see here. We'll hide the thickness again and show the body again. Now if you want to add the appearance here, just go for the apply material option. You can add the material, or else if you want you can add the appearance for the color painting, stone, wood, whatever appearance you want we can add there. So I'm going to select metal and we'll select this option, that is silver. Click it and drag it on the title of this part. So select the material, drag and drop it on the title of this part in model tree. You can see here silver now it is showing in model tree also. Just say apply material and OK. And for appearance, to show it with material, go on this view toolbar and here at the third last option from the bottom side we have shading with material. Just click on this option. We can see here this metallic finish has been shown on this part. So this was the lecture for today. We have made this part. We can see here this part has been made. We'll still continue with some more parts. So for Catia surface practice, follow the playlist and continue watching the lectures. If you have not subscribed yet, then do like, share and subscribe the channel. Till then, thank you.